How's it going, Bevill State students? My name is Baxter, and I'm friends with Tina, and I'm here to kind of give you words of wisdom that I wish I had when I was going through college. I know for many of you, you're coming from low-income backgrounds or non-traditional backgrounds, so maybe your parents didn't go to college, you're a first-generation student, or maybe you're an older student and you're trying to get back into the swing of things. You worked in the real world before, and now you're like, okay, I need to get some more skills. I need to be able to help my family out with more income, so I'm going back to college to gain some type of technical trade or a nursing trade or something. And so I'm proud of you for just being here. So I'm just going to help you guys out. I'm an engineer by trade, but I'm also a very skilled financial advisor. I write for the Birmingham News, AO.com, as well as for myself. You can catch me at Ben_Baxter on Twitter if you want to follow some of the things I do. But I just want to give you guys some kind of pointers to the things that help you avoid some of the pitfalls that I know I went through as a first-time generation student and as a lower-income student. And there's some things that are very unique to you guys as you're at Bevill State and you're trying to get through the rigmarole of going from community college and maybe to the working world, or going to a four-year university like Alabama or Mississippi State or something like that. So, or Auburn or UAB. So I've got three things I'm going to focus on. I'm going to split those up into three segments. So I'm going to do the three P's. They're going to be praising, because you guys did it. You guys have made the jump from either high school or from working a job maybe you don't like, and you want to get some more skills and get some more pay. So you should be praised for just being here. So I'm excited for you guys and proud of you guys. So praise, number one. Plan. You can't do this without a plan. You have to plan everything that you do from now until the end of your life. You're going to have to plan and make sure that thing comes out the way that you want it to be. The plans aren't going to work out perfectly, but if you don't have a plan, nothing will work out. So you want to be praised, you want to plan, and last but not least, you want to put in the work. None of the other two things matter if you don't put in the work. So I'm going to focus on those things, but first I'm going to give my testimony. Like I said, I'm a first-generation college student. I'm from Dothan, Alabama, if anybody knows where that is. And I came to the University of Alabama as an engineering student, and I didn't know what I was doing. My folks didn't go to college, and none of their folks went to college, so I was doing everything on my own. Thankfully, with the help of the guidance counselors I had in my high school and the different advisors and things that were at UA and some of the other colleges that I applied to, I was able to get into college with ample grants and aid and whatnot. However, I still ended up with a lot of student loan debt. A lot of that was just poor planning on my part, not having anybody with wisdom to tell me things to avoid, and obviously the comparison trap of seeing other people with student loans and seeing other people with being able to go party and buy food and games and whatever it is they need to do to have fun. Like, I'm looking at that, I'm like, I want to be able to do that. So, and I know for me, I was like, I didn't see them working, so I was like, how do they get money? They got student loans. So that's one of the things I went through, and I don't want you to have to go through that if you can avoid it. I know many of you, if you're at Bevill State, where I'm from, we have Wallace Community College, and for most of the community colleges, I don't think you can get student loans to go to the community college, so that's good. Like, that's one thing that's going to keep you from taking a step backwards as you get into your career. But once you go from community college to four-year college, you probably look and you're like, gosh, the cost is so much, how I'm going to do this. But you really just have to use all the skills that you've been using up until this point to try to help limit the amount of student loans that you have. For me, I wish I had worked more. There's nothing like work. Like, I worked in the summer. I did 40 hours a week during the summer, and I got paid pretty well. I was an intern. But I didn't do anything during the spring and fall semester. I could have made enough money to avoid the student loans that I had, and I didn't because I just didn't think I could or didn't want to. So I plead with you to try to do that. If you make the jump to a four-year college, that you do that and avoid some of the pitfalls I did. I ended up with $30,000 worth of student loans, and I think that's right about an average when I was graduating in 2010, but that number keeps going up and up. So I want you to avoid that. If you can get a job, if you can get internships, if you can get scholarships, grants, different things of that nature, please get them. Please look out for those things. As non-traditional students, or transfer students. There's a lot of scholarships that are geared just for you, so you want to get involved with those, whether it's in-state or out-of-state. You may want to stay in-state just because it helps things to stay a little cheaper for you, but just look out for those things. Again, you don't want to, like I did when I was bringing $30,000 worth of student loans into with a fiance who had the same amount. She had a different background than me, but she still ended up with $30,000 worth of student loans, and we got married and brought that together. So imagine the harmonious reality when we got back from our honeymoon, and we're like, okay, we got to tackle this. Wow. We did it. We knocked it out. We knocked it out by the time we were, I guess we went from being 22 and 23, and by the time we were 28, 27, we had our student loans all paid off, as well as our cars and everything else. And we don't have any debt right now except our house, which we hopefully will get that done pretty quickly as well. But it was a struggle, and it was a grind to try to get those out of our lives, because it was eating up our income. It was taking away things we wish we could have been doing. We could have been vacationing or spending time with each other, or giving to things we care about, but we had to pay Sally Mae, and we had to pay Honda and Nissan for the cars we bought that we didn't have to get because we didn't want to try to save up and buy a car the old-fashioned way. And a lot of times old-fashioned is the best way, and we were short-sighted, and I want to be able to give you a little bit of vision to help kind of avoid those things. So again, now, like I said, we're debt-free. We don't have any consumer debt. We are building up college fund for our kids. We have 2 little girls. We're building up our retirement full force. Like, we're doing 15% of our income going to retirement, and that's not including the match. We're getting matches at work, but we're not worrying about that. We're putting in 15% of our own income for retirement right now, and that's a struggle, because you have the ability to spend that money if you wanted to. If you opted out to do that, you could. Same thing with giving. We try to give as much as we can to our church and to charities, and we try to give at least 10% every year of our income, and we've been doing that as well. So you can't do that. You can't put that much into retirement. You can't put that much into giving if you aren't planning and trying to make sure you're debt-free to begin with, because that takes away, again, from your potential to do things that you look forward to. So like I said, I'm going to spend time on the 3 P's: praise, planning, and putting into work. So like I said, first, praise. You guys are amazing. You guys made it to this point at Bevill State where you are looking at your schedule and you're looking at your curriculum and like, okay, I can't wait to finish this in 2-3 years and be able to get out and make money for myself if I'm single, and be able to go work at Mercedes or Nucor or wherever it is you're trying to, at the hospital, wherever it is you're trying to go work. And so I'm praising you just for being able to make it out of where you came from. If you came from a bad background or a poor performing high school and somehow you made it out, I'm proud of you, and I'm hoping that you can help someone else later on down the road that's going through the same thing based on the advice I'm giving you right now. So I'm just praising you. You're doing a great job. I think you can keep that going just by continuing to study hard, continuing to keep your head above the water. It's going to be hard. This is a sacrifice. Nothing about school is romantic or easy. Like, it's going to be a grind, and it's temporary sacrifice for a big payoff later. Hopefully, if you're going into some type of tech field, electrician or nursing or whatever it is that you're trying to do, hopefully you realize that this short-term sacrifice is going to give you an opportunity to be able to go out into the real world, make a living, make an income, and be able to lift yourself and your family tree or your future family tree for generations and generations. So I want to praise you. I want to praise your parents. I want to praise whoever's involved with you, helping you get to this point. Tina, for being able to kind of be an advisor for you right now and help you see just the opportunities and the inroads that you have. So I'm very thankful for that. But just, like I said, just keep doing what you're doing. You may feel like you made mistakes up until this point. That's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes, but you want to keep doing as many good things as you can, despite the few mistakes that you do. So just keep watch of the news. Keep watching. Stay in the advisor's office. Stay in your guidance counselor if you have that at the community college that you're at. Just keep those in your back pocket. Always looking for ways to improve yourself, even if it's not through school. Always stay knitted with the a good solid family. If you don't have a good family background where you're from, get connected with a home or a church or something nearby that has families that can kind of be your mentors right now as you're going through school, who can help you when you feel like quitting and you feel like dropping out or you feel like whatever. Have somebody in your corner that can continue to praise you and keep you motivated, because that's really all it takes right now to get through this first hurdle of just doing it and doing the grind and having to study. Because it's going to feel like it's forever. You're like, oh, I'm at my first semester or my second semester. It's like, when is this going to end? It's going to end, and you're going to be very proud of yourself, but you have to make it. Second, like I said, we're going to be talking about planning. You need to plan. You can't assume that that things are going to just work out. So if you're in community college now at Bevill State and you want to go to UA, or you want to go to Auburn, or you want to go to Mississippi State or UAB or whatever for nursing, or to do engineering or something like that with a mechanical background, you got to make sure that the credits transfer. You want to be able to go to your advisor, go to the admissions office, and make sure that you're registered for all the classes that will transfer, so that you don't end up wasting money now that you wish you hadn't spent, because it ends up not being useful for anything. So you want to make sure that all the classes, all the maths, all the sciences, all the reading, all the language, all the history, everything transfers over so that those credits count, so you're not wasting money. Now, right now, the maths and sciences and things cost a lot less than they do at the four-year colleges. So take advantage of those now, but you have to make sure that they transfer. If they don't transfer, it was all for naught, and you end up with 25% or 50% of your classes not transferring over, and that can cost you a lot in the long run, because now you have to take those classes again at the four-year college for 4 times the price or 5 times the price. So try to be smart now with planning for those classes so that they transfer well. Try to make sure you go to an in-state school. So I know a lot of you are maybe here on the border, and you could go to Mississippi State or Ole Miss or whatever, but you want to set your sights. If you live in Mississippi, try to go to school in Mississippi. If you live in Alabama, try to go to school in Alabama, because the tuition costs are going to be a whole lot less than just going over the state line to go to the same kind of school for 3 times as much. I think right now tuition per year is like 10 grand, 11 grand, somewhere between there, between 9 and 11 grand, depending on where you're going. And that's a lot more per year than it is to go to community college right now. So you really want to pick where you're going and make sure you go to those places, as opposed to an out-of-state school where it's going to be $20,000, $25,000, or a private school even that's going to be $30,000 a year. Where we're coming from, where I was coming from at your age, you can't afford to go to a private school. You can't afford to go to out-of-state. So you want to avoid that and try to make sure that you're going to an in-state school, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, whatever. And so that those schools can give you a much better rate and a better price for what you're trying to get. Because at the end of the day, you're going to get a degree, and you want that degree to mean as much as you want it to be, but you also want it not to cost as much, because it's all going to be the same. You're going to have a bachelor's in something when you get done. So you want to make sure that it's as cost effective as possible. I know for me, I took a couple classes at community college, but I didn't go the route that you guys take. You guys are getting a huge advantage by being able to get rid of a lot of your classes at a very cheaper rate, so that you save a lot of money by only having to do 2 years at the four-year college, if you choose to do that. But many of you obviously aren't going to do that. You're going to go straight into the working world, and I applaud that. So if you're nursing, you may go straight to nursing. You may go and try to get your RN and go into a hospital or a doctor's office or something like that. And more power to you, but you want to be able to make sure that you are able to start budgeting the money that you have. You want to start budgeting now. You get grants or scholarships or money that you're doing working part-time right now. Make sure you're budgeting that now, so when you get your first real big girl or big boy job, that you're managing your finances well. Because when you finish, you're gonna be, if you're 18 now, you're gonna be 20 when you graduate, or if you're 25 now, you're gonna be 27 when you graduate, or 35 and 37 when you graduate. You're gonna have a higher income, and with that income takes the responsibility of managing that well. So if you're going into the real world after Bevill State, please make sure you are budgeting the money you have. Make sure you know where your money is going, so it's not just leaving you without a trace. That's what so many people I know my age, when we were coming out of college, is that we get our first job and we just spend like crazy, because it's the most money we've ever had. particularly if we come from a poorer background. We've never had this much money, so we think we're rich. We think we have it all, and really we end up digging ourselves a hole that we're going to have to get a big shovel to try to get out. So for your peace and sanity, please, please, please keep that in mind. And like I said, last but not least, you want to put in the work. So you want to study. You want to study your heart out. You want to be able to make as many A's and B's on your classes as possible, because that's going to affect not only how well you do here and how your ability and opportunities to get your degree here with your associates or a certificate or whatever it is you're doing, so you can go into the real world and use that to earn income. But also, you want to make sure those grades transfer, and bad grades won't transfer. So you want to make sure that you are, if you have a study group or a study partner, or maybe you have a best friend, or maybe you and your spouse are doing this all at the same time, or maybe you and a brother or sister are doing this all at the same time. Study together. Use the shared resources of working together to be able to get better grades. Like the biggest mistake I saw when I was in college is people working by themselves, trying to do the things that other people were doing in a group. Groups, we're meant to work as groups in a community. If you don't have a community, you will not excel, because you don't know what you're missing out on. You're working on your own. You don't realize your weaknesses. You don't realize your frailties. You don't realize the things you're missing out on. And if you're in a community with other people who may have different gifts and different talents, you bring something to the table too, but so do they, and they're going to help you see things that maybe you wouldn't see if you're on your own. So from the heart, please get someone to be in your corner, to walk with you, to be your brother's keeper, so to speak, right now when you're going through your journey at Bevill. I want you guys to be successful, and I want the classes to go to waste because you flunked out or something like that. Because if you flunk out, again, that's more wasted money that you're not going to be able to recoup, because now you're going to take the class again, and that's just going to give you discouragement and make you kind of put out by the whole thing, and maybe you don't finish. I want you guys to finish. I want you to finish strong. Whether this is the last college or schooling you're ever going to get, or if this is just the beginning, I want you guys to finish strong and finish onward, and so you can continue into the next level of your life. Hopefully that answered the 3 P's. And just to kind of follow up and finish off, I just want to make sure you guys know just the different resources you guys can take advantage of. If you guys are part of a church or a community that has Financial Peace University, try to go through that, like as a young person or as a older person going through the change of life or a season of life. It's good to kind of get the tools in your tool belt, so to speak. You can do that. You can do Compass, which is another program like that kind of gives you tools for your belt so you can know how to budget, how to handle debt, how to handle trying to build up retirement, how to save for school, how to earn money while you're working for school. It's those 2 programs, Compass and Financial Peace University, are going to give you the tools that you need as just a regular person to be able to succeed with finances. You want to take advantage of, again, any of the resources that are at Bevill. Also, if you're going to a 4-year school, take advantage of any resources there. There's plenty of free things there. There's plenty of free things online. There's so many things you can learn just by watching YouTube right now. Like you could get a degree almost from YouTube. There's so many good professors, so many good financial advisors, so many good just people on there that have just wisdom that you can soak up for free, like straight up. This is not something that we had 20 years ago or even really 15 years ago. Like it's not something we had. So that's an opportunity you have to really succeed and be able to be prepared. So I look forward to ever meeting you guys. If I don't, I wish you guys the best of luck in your schooling, and onward and upward. Peace out.